Hi friends, once again welcome back in our educational channel that is Precise Electronics. Friends, in today's video lecture we are going to study block diagram of operational amplifier, pin configuration and pin diagram of operational amplifier, that is IC 741. First of all, operational amplifier. What is operational amplifier? The operational amplifier is designed to eliminate the drawbacks of practical or ordinary amplifier. This operational amplifier, that is OPAM, is basically high gain DC amplifier. Amplifies both AC and DC signals faithfully. This amplifier has two input terminals, positive input terminal and negative input terminal. Positive input terminal is known as non-inverting input terminal and the negative input terminal is known as inverting terminal. Output is in phase with the input or it is out of phase, 180 degree out of phase with the input. And the output will depends upon the input terminal and the input signal. That means it is depends upon the input terminals. If it is connected to the inverting terminal, then output may be 180 degree out of phase with the input, or if it is connected to the non-inverting terminal, then output is in phase with the input. So it has two input terminals and output terminal. This IC or this amplifier requires dual power for its operation. The dual power supply is used for the biasing purpose. Plus minus 10 volt to plus minus 18 volt, that is the range. The range of this power supply is plus minus 10 volt to plus minus 18 volt. That is connected to this amplifier for its operation. Along with all this IC or this OPAM or this amplifier has two terminals. The two pins are there and the function of these pins are offset. They are used for the offset null adjustment is there. So that when there is no input, output should be 0. If output is not 0, this offset null is adjusted so that output should be 0. So that is operational amplifier. Now we are going to study the block diagram of operational amplifier. The block diagram of operational amplifier is now going to display on your screen. From this diagram, it is clear that OPAM has 4 blocks. The two input terminals are there. First input connected to this terminal is inverting input. The second input is non-inverting input. These inverting and non-inverting inputs are applied to the first block, that is first stage differential amplifier. The input signals are applied to the first block, that is the first stage differential amplifier. The output of first stage amplifier, that is a differential amplifier, is connected to second stage differential amplifier. The second stage differential amplifier also has two input terminals. So output of first amplifier has two output terminals. The second stage differential amplifier gives a output signal to the next block, that is level shifter. It is level shifter. The third block is a level shifter and it is emitter follower. The two circuits are there, that is level shifter as well as a emitter follower. And the last block of this block diagram is power amplifier, which gives output. So output is connected or power amplifier delivers the output signal. So that is the block diagram of operational amplifier. Now we are going to study each block. The first block, that is the first stage differential amplifier. What is the first stage differential amplifier? This amplifier has two input terminals. It mostly amplifies the differential input signal. This amplifier is dual input balanced output differential amplifier. Dual input, it has two inputs, inverting and non-inverting. And the output of this amplifier is balanced. It is a balanced differential amplifier. This amplifier is mostly used to amplify the differential signal. What is the function of first block? That is the differential amplifier. This differential amplifier determines the gain and rejection of common input signal. It determines the gain. What is gain? Gain is the ratio of output to the input, or output is product of gain and the input signal. So this first block determines the gain of the amplifier. It also determines the rejection of common input signal. This amplifier amplifies the differential input signal. Common mode input signal may get rejected, and this rejection is determined by this block, that is a differential amplifier. First is differential amplifier, and as the common mode signal get rejected, there is no noise and drip in the output. So first stage determines the gain of the amplifier. It also determines the common rejection of common input signal. As it is an input, first block, there is an input block. It decides the input impedance. The high input impedance, this amplifier provides the high input impedance. What is the advantage of high input impedance? As it has a high input impedance, a small signal, if there is a variation, if there is a small variation in input signal, this signal can be easily amplified because of high impedance. So it provides the high input impedance. This stage also provides the low input offset voltage and a bias. Low input offset voltage and bias current. What is the input offset voltage and what is bias current? Friends, हे सगळं आपल्याला पुढे next lectures मध्ये study करायचे. So this amplifier, first is amplifier, it provides low input offset voltage and bias current. First, it determines the gain, it determines the rejection of common input signal, it determines the input impedance, it gives a low input offset voltage and a bias. Output of this amplifier is double-ended. So there are two output terminals, and these output terminals are connected to the input terminals of next block, that is second stage differential amplifier. Second stage differential amplifier. What is the function of second stage differential amplifier? The second stage differential amplifiers provide the additional gain. This stage provides the additional gain. Additional gain, which gain? That is the differential mode gain, because common input is already rejected. So this amplifier provides additional differential mode gain, and the gain of the amplifier, gain of the op-amp is approximately 10⁶. What is the unit? Gain is a ratio, so it is unitless. So gain of the amplifier, operation amplifier, is approximately 10⁶, and the additional gain, the first block provides the gain, the second block provides the additional gain. The common mode gain of this amplifier is 0. The common mode gain is 0. What is the advantage? The common mode gain is 0 if common mode signal is able to pass to the first block. It will not able to pass the second block, because as gain is 0, the output, common mode output will be 0, because output is product of gain and the input signal. As gain is 0, output will be 0. So there will be no common mode output signal. Only the differential output signals or differential input signal may be acted from the output terminal. In this amplifier, there is no effect of temperature and power supply variation. If temperature get fluctuates or power supply voltage get fluctuates, it will not affect the operating condition of this amplifier. And this amplifier is known as intermediate state. Why it is called intermediate state? Because it is between the first stage and between the output stage. So it is known as an intermediate state amplifier. That is the second stage differential amplifier. The next block is our level shifter. That is a DC level shifter and emitter follower. What is a DC level shifter? What is the use of DC level shifter? As a DC level increases through amplifier, DC level increases because of this amplifiers, and it is necessary to compensate that DC level to 0 volt DC level. It is necessary to compensate the output of second block, that is the second stage differential amplifier, is much larger than the 0 volt DC level. the gain of the amplifier is very high, and because of this, the 0 volt DC level may get vary. So it is necessary to compensate that 0 volt DC level, and for that purpose, this level shifter is used. The output of this amplifier is not directly connected to the output, because if load resistance drops to 0, if there are some accidents, and if the output terminals get short circuited, then that 0 resistance or 0 load resistance may give a load to the output terminals. So to avoid all these things, emitter follower circuit is used. So what is the function of emitter follower? Emitter follower gives a low output impedance. Why it gives low output impedance? Because in emitter follower, the output terminal is connected to the emitter of amplifier, emitter of that transistor, and emitter always gives a low resistance. And as the output impedance is low, there is no loading effect. Even though the output load drops to 0 ohm, it goes to 0. It will not affect the operating condition of amplifier. And that's why the emitter follower circuit is also introduced in the third block, that is DC level shifter and emitter follower. Now the output of emitter follower is connected to the next block, that is output power amplifier. Friends, mostly in the output stage, the power amplifier circuit, and mostly push-pull power amplifier circuit. This amplifier, what is the function of this amplifier? This amplifier provides high current gain, because we require high output current, and that high output current is provided by using this amplifier, that is push-pull power amplifier. This amplifier increases the current gain of the amplifier, current gain of the signal. It increases the current gain. It gives a wide bandwidth. What is bandwidth? Bandwidth is a difference between the upper frequency and the lower frequency. So bandwidth decides the frequency range of operating signal. It decides the frequency range. Means if the bandwidth is very wide, the wide frequency input signals, the signals having a wide frequency inputs can be faithfully amplified. The low frequency signal can be amplified as well as the high frequency, means AF signal or RF signal. Both signals can be faithfully amplified because of wider bandwidth. And this circuit provides the low output impedance. But it provides the low output impedance because emitter follower is already used. So that is the fourth block, output power amplifier, which provides high current gain, which provides the wide bandwidth, and it gives a low output impedance. So that is block diagram of operational amplifier. It consists of 4 blocks. The first block, that is the first stage differential amplifier. It is a balanced amplifier. Second block is a second stage differential amplifier. Third block is a DC level shifter and emitter follower. And fourth block is power amplifier, output power amplifier. So that is block diagram of operational amplifier. Now we are going to study the pin diagram and pin configuration of op-amp. IC741 is a part of our syllabus. So we are going to study the pin diagram and pin configuration of IC741. And the pin diagram of IC741 is now going to display on your screen. IC741, that is op-amp. It is available in 8-pin DIP. It is available in 14-pin DIP. It is available in 8-pin total. The pin diagram of 8-pin DIP is displayed on your screen. 8-pin total is a CAN type, and 14-pin DIP in which there are 14 pins. And in this case, there are 8 pins. 8-pin DIP dual inline package. First, pin number 1, that is offset 1. Pin number 2, inverting input. Pin number 3, non-inverting input. Pin number 4, minus supply, minus VEE. Pin number 5, it is also offset null. Pin number 6, output pin number 7 plus VCC and pin number 8 NC. Pin number 1 offset null, pin number 2 inverting input, pin number 3 non-inverting input, pin number 4 minus PE minus supply, pin number 5 offset null, 6 output, 7 plus VCC and 8 not. Now pin configuration. First, pin number 1 offset null. What is the function of this pin? What is the offset null? A potentiometer. What? That is variable resistor. A potentiometer of 10 kilo ohm is connected between pin number 1 and pin number 5. Pin number 5 is also offset null. So between these two terminals, the fixed terminal of pot are connected. 10 kilo ohm pot is used and the fixed terminals are connected to pin number 1 and pin number 5, while the variable terminal of potentiometer is connected to pin number 4, that is minus PE. Then this pot is adjusted so that we can get zero output. But in this case, the input terminals, that is pin number 2 inverting and pin number 3 non-inverting, both these terminals are grounded. That means there is no potential. As there is no potential, output should be zero. As there is no input, there should be no output. And for that purpose, this pot is used so that we can get zero output. As there is no input. That is pin number 1 offset. Pin number 2, that is inverting input. A signal applied to these terminals get inverted across the output terminals. That means the potential or the signal appears across the output terminals is 180 degree out of phase with the input applied to this terminal. It is inverting. It gets inverted. If input signal is positive, output will be negative. If input is negative, output will be positive. So input applied to these terminals get 180 degree out of phase across the output terminal. That is the inverting terminal. Pin number 3, that is a non-inverting. That is a positive terminal. The input applied to these terminals appears in the same phase across the output terminals. The phase will not get changed. If input is positive, output will be positive. If input is negative, output will be negative. So input applied to this terminal remains in the same phase. It will not get changed. The next, that is pin number 4, it is minus VEE. Op-amp requires dual power supply. It requires a dual supply for its operation. So minus supply, minus 10 volt to minus 18 volt supply is connected to this terminal. That is minus VEE. Next, pin number 5, offset. The function of 5 and function of pin number 1 are the same because the pot is connected between pin number 1 and pin number 5. The next terminal is pin number 6, that is output. Output is either high or low. Actually, it is positive or negative. That will depends upon the input terminal, depends upon the input signal. That means if input is connected to pin number 2, that inverting terminal, and if input is positive, output will be negative. And if input is negative, output will be positive. Suppose the input is connected to pin number 3, that is non-inverting terminal. If it is positive, obviously output will be positive. And if it is negative, output will be negative. That means output is either positive or negative. That will depend upon the input terminals and obviously the input signal. That is either positive or negative. The next pin is pin number 7, that is plus VCC. Obviously, the plus 10 volt to plus 18 volt supply is connected to this terminal. Mostly in op-amp, plus minus 12 volt potential is applied. Mostly. But there is no hard and fast rule that we require 12 volt. The range of this supply varies from plus minus 10 volt to plus minus 18 volt. So plus 10 volt to plus 18 volt supply is connected to this terminal. And the last pin, that is pin number 8, that is NC. NC means not connected. So this pin is kept open. It is not connected to any component, any signal. This terminal remains open. So that is the pin diagram and pin configuration of IC741, which is operation amplifier, which is basically high gain DC amplifier. So friends, thanks for watching this video lecture. In next video lecture, we are going to study the differential amplifier. That is the first block and the second block of our operation amplifier, differential amplifier. So friends, thanks for watching this video lecture. Bye, take care, see you again.